My guest today is Carolyn Rosehart. As a highly successful inspirational speaker and executive coach, her love is helping people blueprint dynamic lives to step up, step out, and share their gifts. She is licensed to coach with scientifically proven tools for shifting the perspective of how the world operates using the laws of the universe. She is the founder of Step Up, Step Out, and the author of the #1 best-selling book, Step Out, Step Up, Step Out, Share Your Gifts, and Be an Agent for Change. Welcome, Carolyn. How are you this morning?
I am great, Dr. Carson. Thank you so much for doing this.
Well,
It just
you've got
really
an
makes a
interesting subject,
difference.
stepping up and stepping out. A lot of people step up, but they don't always step out. So, you know, you talk about a life event that created an opening for you to move into your what you call the next phase of your hero's journey, as Joseph Campbell referred to it. What was that?
Oh, thank you for this great question. I love talking about it. I was teaching, retired after 30 years. I had 2 children that I raised as a single mom. They were out and about in their 20s doing their own thing, and both of them came home around the same time and said, "Ma, don't worry about me. I'm not going to be here very long. I'll be on my way." I decided it was time to look further, sell the home, and sell all the accoutrements that I had bought after my master's degree. And the world was calling me. I decided to go travel. And I would do that for a year, which turned into 4 because it was so exquisite, connecting with people, places, and programs. And out of that, I had a huge transformation, huge.
And that was what?
Oh, yes. My transformation was moving from a space of seeing myself as a victim because of all that had occurred in my life as a child, as an adult, and shifting to the powerful woman that I could be, that all of us can be. Seeing that I had gifts to share, and now was the time because the world needed all of us.
Wow, that's quite a thing, Carolyn. There are so many people out there who do consider themselves victims, and they don't see any way of getting out of what I call a paper bag that they're in. They just can't punch their way out of it. And for you to have come to that realization, I mean, you had led a powerful life. You were a teacher. You raised children on your own. You were successful at doing both. Why was there this need to have this transformation?
I actually experienced a pull from the universe, a pull that said, "There's more for you, Carolyn. You're just playing pygmy in this body of yours. There's more for you to share. The world needs you now." The pull was so intense that I had to go on the road and travel. I couldn't just buy a small condo or live in an apartment. I needed to really go explore and find myself, see what else there was in the world. And it's exactly what occurred. I was listening carefully at that point in my life. And I'm not ashamed to admit that I was actually in therapy at that point of my life because I just knew that what was going on inside me was not who I was, that I really needed to shift this. I really needed to play big out, play full out.
Wow. That is really something. And it's very important for our listeners to hear this because, sometimes you feel like you're the only one going through this and that you're alone in this and nobody else can understand you. And why am I having all of these thoughts and why am I not stepping into my purpose and so forth? So, you actually took charge, and I think that's a very important part. And you talk about that you now help people blueprint their lives or create a vision for their life. So how does this blueprinting help people step into the bigger story for their lives?
If you think about how we build houses and office buildings, they're always blueprinted from the start. All thoughts can become things. That is a law of the universe. If we see it, we can be it, do it, have it. So if we have this thought of how we would like our house and we blueprint it and we take action, it will become a house. We actually can do that with our own lives. When we see that there's more and we work with someone, you said that I actually saw the bigger story and I took action, I stepped into it. I did that with support. I know today that for me to play full out, I have to really get support. And in building this blueprint, people really become very clear about their life intentions. They become clear about their value system and the paradigms that are stopping them, hijacking their lives from moving forward. And when we really see what our own personal paradigms are, all bets are off. We can really move forward when we have the support that this is my dream, this is my vision. And you said it in a former call that you had with another author, that if we actually see and we write it down, it will happen. And that's so true. We can work our vision. We can write it down. We can read it. We can put some emotion behind it. And it will come into fruition. So it's what I do with the clients that I'm working with, coaching them through the process and then coaching them through the story and what is stopping them. And I speak about this as well to audiences.
Everybody does tell themselves a story. And it's always interesting to note that the story that you tell yourself is not necessarily the story that anybody else sees about you or understands about you. So who would be your ideal client and why would they choose to invest in your coaching or the groups that you have?
Thank you for asking that question, Dr. Carson. My ideal client is someone who sees their bigger story. They've been in the legal field, the medical field, educational settings, and they're done with that. It was a great career. They see where they've made a difference, and the world is calling them to do something more, something bigger. That is the person, someone who really wants to explore their next step and move into it, playing full out. It's not only possible, it's necessary for all of us to really play full out.
You know, it's almost like that Maslow's hierarchy of needs. As we grow, as we age, as we develop, it gets to a point where you do say, is that all there is? And there must be something more I can give back. And I think that's one of the reasons why when people do retire, they do a lot of volunteering because they can then put their passion into something that they maybe didn't have time for as they were working so hard. You have this book that's called Step Up, Step Out, Share Your Gifts and Be an Agent for Change. Tell us about it. What does it say in there? What is it about?
The book is about the transformation that occurred for me as I traveled for 4 years, seeing that I had these stories, these perceptions about who I was. They actually were perceptions that I chose to take on from my siblings, from my teachers, my parents, that I really wasn't very smart. I wasn't able to do the things that my siblings could do. And I began to see that, yes, I can. And through the transformation, going to organizations like Esalen Institute on Big Sur, and then down deep into the Amazon with the Pachamama Alliance. And I went to Bali with Ellen Watson, who teaches dance and yoga massage over in the Indonesian area. I wrote her curriculum while I was over there, because it's just what I've been doing, writing curriculum. It was an an amazing, amazing experience to be over with her, having massages, giving massages, because I was learning the process so that I could go back and write from my heart for her. And it was an extraordinary experience when I had a breakdown on a massage table. It was just more than I actually could see for my life. And I was ready to let go of that past life, let go of what was holding me. And when we shed tears, it opens our heart. And that's exactly what occurred for me. I found that my heart was opening for the first time in my life. I was going to be a different person. I was on a new journey. It was a brand new baby day for me. So
wow,
my book takes readers through the process. Yeah,
that's amazing. You know that you discovered all of this. Now, one of the things that I'm sure our listeners are saying, "Wow, it's nice to be able to travel for 4 years without worrying about anything else." How did you do that? How did you travel for 4 years and not worry about responsibilities at home, or how is that financially possible? Are there any clues or hints there?
Oh, there are huge clues and hints that I can share with people. When I saw that I had $12,000 in my bank account, and when I returned, I had 11,000 after 4 years. While I was out and about, I was able to begin to work and do work exchange, get paid for my services, get my services paid for, my travel paid for, just because I really became clear that I had skills and I had things that I could share and trade with people. So I wasn't needing to spend as much money as you would think staying on the road for 4 years. And I did not know that till I stepped into my power and just listened to what that calling was that the universe had for me. And I started traveling. And was I scared? Oh my gosh, was I petrified? I had no idea what was going to occur. And I did it.
You know, that's very true. I hadn't thought about that, but you know, I used to speak on cruise ships a lot, and a lot of the, for example, the gym instructors, the beauticians, I mean, all these people would be traveling to all these countries, and they'd get their day or two off, and they would see all these places, and yet they were getting taken care of because they had their food, you know, they had their room, their board, things like that. And it is true, there are a lot of ways to exchange your services. If you have something of value that people would like to learn, or you could share, or even that you're willing to learn yourself, and you volunteer and you're learning and they're taking care of your room, your board. So it is possible. But I think as you're brought up traditionally, it's hard to get your mind to expand to that particular vision. And that's what you're all about, is vision. So how does positivity, because I'm all for positive thinking, and I know you are too, how does positivity interface with a vision?
When we are vision based and we create a vision, a blueprint for our life, for our business, we actually use words that are not conditional words. So it's not about maybe I will do it. It is I will do it, and by when will I do it? It's not about losing weight. It's about releasing weight. The universe does listen to our language. And if we want to lose weight, well, that sort of doesn't work with the positivity piece. Do we want to get money, or do we want to serve with our gifts and then the money follows? Those are all laws of the universe. When we can see that the universe will work with us, that there's a law of just moving through the universe as a person of increase, a person that really has this bigger vision. and just being positive with it. One of the things I do